Hey, welcome back to the DPP channel, and today we have another Union Arena Finals, and it'll be between the two JJKs, JJK Blue and JJK Red. Now, JJK Red was introduced in the new set, which was not long ago, in March 2024, and I would say the playstyle of the deck is definitely very interesting. The focus will be actually on the protagonists of the show, which is basically the sorcerers like Nobara, Gojo, Megumi, and of course Yuji himself. And for the blue JJK, we actually have a focus on the good stuff. Now the good stuff being the Sukunas, the Nanamis, and of course the Yuji from the first set. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the game itself as we do approach the second turn, I believe, for the first player, which is JJK Blue. He's going to go for the Maki here, looking at top 2, which allows him to discard one card, adding the other card to hand. He doesn't have to show to the opponent. So instead of actually building the energy line, she's actually going to go for the Nanami, which on play, you actually discard the top card of your deck, and then actually serving as a 3k body in the front line. So I would say it's actually a pretty decent play, given that she's expecting the enemy to start pushing out the front line, especially with that 3 1.5k bodies behind. So with that Nanami in front, it can actually stop these plays. So we're going to see a Yuji coming down the double energy, and it's going to go for the Gojo from a new set as well with a 5k body, which is pretty decent if you ask me. It's going to go for the raided Yuji as well. So opponent did respect the 3k body in front and just going to go for the Yuji raid. And we do hit into the Nanami raid here, but however there isn't really enough energy for her to actually go for the raid. So she's just going to pass the turn. And we are finally reaching the 3 AP turn for the left player here, as he does go for the Yuji double energy in the back line. With 5 energy now, he can actually do more plays. He's going to go for that Nanami special trigger first, putting that Gojo bound to the bottom of the deck because Nanami is on the field. So that's actually pretty decent removal, as he does not proc any on deletion effects. And we do move on to Nanami raid, actually stopping the Yuji from attacking the next turn. And this Yuji actually has a very obnoxious effect, given that it can actually attack twice per turn if it allowed to. You're going to see the Nanami swing and no hit to the color trigger, which for raid is actually just going to kill a 2.5k below. But unfortunately, the Yuji still is able to block against the Nanami attack. And so it's going to pass the turn here with 6 life on the right player. It's going to go to the third AP turn here. It's going to push out that 2 Megumi already. Now with just 2 energy in the back row, it's just going to build energy once again, throwing at Nobara now, as well as a Yuji. And looks like it's going to go for that Nobara raid. And Nobara raid is definitely a mouthful. So essentially you do draw 1, and of course it's cutting 1 card. And for that card discarded, if it matches an energy or a power on your opponent's field, you can actually minus 3k on it. And looks like he didn't actually discard the correct one, so Nanami doesn't get destroyed here, but Nobara will be able to swing through, hitting to the active trigger, but it's already end of turn. So we're going to move on to the second 3 AP turn for the left player here, and she does actually have 4 energy to work with, so she doesn't really need to build energy straight away. She's going to push out that Maki, and then going to start building energy again. We do see a second double ball Yuji in the back line here, and it's going to go for the Nanami special once again, actually removing that Yuji raid. This is pretty unfortunate given that it didn't swing the previous turn thanks to the Nanami effect, and then it's going to get removed instantly now. And do see the Sukuna coming down. Sukuna is such a good card here because it does allow you to draw 2, discarding 1, basically cycling into your deck even more. But however, she has only 1 finger here, so that Nanami, or rather that Sukuna, only has 5k power and no impact 1. And you'll see Nanami going through the hitting to an active trigger here. So it can actually block the Sukuna attack. It's going to use that Megumi instead. And the other 2, it does successfully block the 2 attacks. And we do end the turn here. But definitely the left player's board is definitely going to be looking much more confident, I would say. But the right player definitely can react already. However, we already seen 2 specials from the left player here, removing that 2 bodies from the right player's field. The right player definitely need to start removing bodies as well, but we do see another Yuji raid coming out. And of course with the Yuji raid, it allows him to go for the impact 1 instead of the double attack. So this attack is definitely going to go through. Does hit to a no trigger here, which is definitely very fortunate for the right player here, as he does swing to Nobara now. The Maki will eat that right up, and we do see the end of turn for the right player. Now the left player has 2 Yujis in his hand, so she definitely has quite a number of answers, but however we do see a lack of Yuji. But as soon as I said that, we see a 0 cost Yuji adding straight to her hand already, and she's going to go for the Nanami raid first, actually blocking that Yuji once again. And I definitely got to say, this Nanami raid is definitely very annoying, especially towards this Yuji. Oh, actually he's going to actually stun the Nobara, actually bouncing back at Yuji. So this might be actually a better play, given that Nobara does have an on-rate skill that allows you to on-play draw 1, so preventing that rate again does help. And we do see a special from the opponent's life here, killing that Sukuna instantly. I'm going to see Nanami swinging again with his on-attacking skill, and there's nothing to proc here. We do see into a no trigger, and the last Yuji attack will be blocked by the Megumi. And man, definitely still an advantage for the left player here, given that she has 3 4K bodies in front line. And the right player definitely to build the energy, and of course with that little club in his hand, it's gonna be very difficult as well. And we do see another Yuji rate, given that it was bounced to hand just now. So with that, he's gonna swing with the impact 1 ability, so the attack will go through, hitting to that color trigger, which does bounce off the Nobara to hand, and that's actually pretty good if you ask me, because that Nobara has a very decent on-play skill, given that it can actually pump power to the Yuji, and the Yuji will start swinging harder later in the turn. Now we do see an AP draw 1 from the left player here. It's going to push out a Nobara with just 1 energy left in the backline. She's going to start building again, and it looks like she doesn't really have much space to make, given that she doesn't have the breach of the mana in his hand. So she's going to start swinging the Nanamis and the Yujis in front line. Gonna mill that special. That's very unfortunate because you do really need it. And we do see another special from life here for the red player. Gonna kill off that Nanami, okay. And we're gonna see the Yuji swinging as well. We're gonna see it going through, and it does go through, hitting to that final in the second last life, which is essentially like a no trigger. But that's pretty unfortunate because, you know, in final you do want to see it always in the last life. You do see the AP draw 1 for the right player. It's gonna go for that double Nobara play like I mentioned just now. It does pump power for the Yujis, and because the opponent has 2 4Ks, we do see the Yuji being 7K now. It's going to go for that double swing here. We basically put him at 7K in the first swing and 5K at the second swing. The left player is thinking about it, does seem to the active trigger, which essentially nullifies the whole game plan for that Yuji. Now both players are at 1 life, and we do see a Sukuna in the left player hand, and she does have the finger to fulfill the impact 1 condition as well. But however, she does have only 2 energy now, so she has to somehow build the energy to 4. And we do see the Maki, or rather the finger coming down first, allowing to draw 1, and we do see her drawing to a final. And now she has to play that Maki, and the Maki in the top 2 have to see something that she can play from the energy line. And we do see a Nanami coming in clutch here, so she's going to go for that final play, which allows her to restand 2 more APs. And with that 2 more action points, she can actually play down the Nanami and as well as the Sukuna. Now she's going to grid for that Sukuna here, and the Sukuna definitely has the impact 1 already unlocked. She's going to draw 2, and we do see double Yujis into the hand. She's going to discard that Nanami into the drop zone, alright. And then she's going to start swinging without the impact 1 first, because you usually want to leave the impact 1 into the last one to prevent the opponent from hitting the last life final, but we don't see it here, and this is it for the blue JJK. This is the deck list for the blue JJK if you guys are interested in. And this is the deck list for the red JJK if you guys are interested as well. Now thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.